Plato believed that the world we see around us is not the real world, but just a shadow of a deeper, perfect reality. To explain this, he used the idea of the world of forms. He said that everything we experience in the physical world, like trees, animals, or even concepts like beauty or justice, is just an imperfect copy of its true, perfect version in the world of forms. Imagine that in the physical world, when we see a beautiful painting, we might think the painting is beautiful, but it is not the perfect beauty itself. Plato would say the beauty we see is just a reflection of the true form of beauty that exists in a perfect, unchanging realm. The true form of beauty is not a physical object, but an idea, or essence of beauty that is eternal and unchangeable. The same applies to things like justice, goodness, and even physical objects like a tree. The real, perfect tree is a form, and the trees we see in the world are just imperfect copies of that perfect form. In the Republic, Plato writes, "The visible world is the world of becoming. The intelligible world is the world of being." What this means is that the physical world we see is constantly changing and imperfect, whereas the world of the forms is unchanging and eternal. For example, you can look at many different beautiful things, but none of them are perfect beauty. What we call beauty is just a copy of the real, ideal beauty that exists in the world of forms. Plato also explains this idea through the story of the cave. He asks us to imagine prisoners chained inside a cave, only able to see the shadows on the wall. These shadows represent the physical world, and the prisoners think these shadows are the only reality. But when one prisoner escapes and sees the world outside the cave, he realizes the shadows were only a small part of the truth. Similarly, Plato believes that what we see with our senses is just the shadow of the real, perfect world of the forms. He says, how could they see anything but the shadows if they were never allowed to move their heads? The prisoners, just like us, are trapped in a world of appearances and cannot see the deeper truth unless they free themselves through reason and understanding. So basically, Plato believed that the physical world is like a blurry image or a copy of something much more perfect. True knowledge, according to him, is about understanding these deeper forms, the perfect ideas behind everything we see. We don't get this understanding through our senses. We need to use our minds to see beyond the surface, to discover the true, perfect essence of things.